Welcome to the Planet Ripple Logs. I'm your host, Nick on Planet Ripple. This log details the human species. To understand the humans of Planet Ripple, one must observe their relationship with the world. This blue planet is future Earth, but it's so altered, so far removed from the Earth we know, that the world Minnow and people like her are born into may as well be another planet. We're not separated from Minnow's generation by a paltry few hundred years, not even a few thousand, rather 30,000. And for at least half of that time, the planet's been completely flooded, its immaculate surface washed clean of any trace of our world, the humans, their animal companions, and some species of merfolk being the only living evidence that there was ever an Earth before Ripple. And these people of the future have had plenty of time to succumb to environmental pressures. Human biology has changed in many small ways since the time of their land-based ancestors. A few changes are subtle developments already underway in us. Planet Ripple's humans have no wisdom teeth, no appendix, and even their pinky toes and tailbones have begun to disappear, as fewer are born with them in each successive generation. They're also shorter than modern humans, while their proportions haven't changed. Being cramped in dimly lit submarines with low ceilings for thousands of years has cost most humans at least half a foot. This height decrease is mostly down to genetics, but is exacerbated by poor nutrition. We'll expand on human diets and culture in the City Ships episode, but as you can imagine, your access to food significantly impacts your stature. People with the rarest, most nutritious foods almost reaching the ballpark of 21st century humans in some cases. This is discounting cyborgs, especially those who have all but replaced their bodies, who can stand pretty at 8 to 10 feet, and even a shorter cyborg like Minnow changes height several times throughout the story. Early in her journey, one of Minnow's mismatched legs is 2 inches longer than the other, and she gains 4 inches when the Navy provides her new matching prosthetics, bringing her to 4'6". Had she been born with organic limbs, she may stand around 4'4", which is short even for her day. The Pirate Queen Barracuda is 5'9", impressive on our modern Earth, but astonishing on Planet Ripple. Future humans' bone density is also lessened, and they have weaker immune systems due to prolonged isolation. As plant-based foods are typically grown hydroponically, soil doesn't exist anymore, so no kids playing in the mud. Different ships cultivate their own unique plants, and while there is a bit of cross-pollination through trade, they're still isolated enough that people can develop severe allergies traveling from ship to ship. In these confined spaces, illness spreads quickly, circling around ship-bound communities like a game of musical chairs, only made worse by poor air quality when ships are forced to stay submerged for several days or even weeks on end to avoid run-ins with pirates. Adapting to conserve energy, humans have extended their sleep cycle a bit, typically sleeping 10 to 12 hours instead of today's 8 or 9. Despite being smaller, weaker, and often underfed, medical advancements have made humans surprisingly long-lived. A typical human lifespan is about 115 years. A human faced with exceptionally poor nutrition and unsanitary living conditions may die as young as 80, while a healthy human in a good environment may thrive for 130, 40, even 150 years. If some of today's children were transported to Minnow's era and enjoyed these new treatments and better access to food, their lifespans may increase dramatically as well. But we're talking about unenhanced humans. Cyborgs, in some extreme cases, have stretched their lifespans centuries longer, though by that point they're little more than a computer with some flesh attached, building a higher saline tolerance, seeing better in the dark, extending their sleep cycle, and even shrinking to cope in a world that hasn't supported them for thousands of years, a world that vanished beneath their ancestors' feet. These resilient humans have undergone numerous adaptations to survive, but they're not exactly thriving. Progress has plateaued, and the species is beginning to stagnate in their increasingly suffocating environment. Dismantling old ships no longer seaworthy to build smaller new ships in their place, getting by with less and less food. The global population steadily declining as the species slowly but surely circles the drain, its fate to atrophy in the abyss. Until now, in recent decades, land has returned to the blue planet, its surface dotted by new islands that were mountaintops in our time, pushed through the surface by tectonic shifts, and the land is only getting bigger. Not enough to support the entire species just yet, but enough for humanity to start planning its comeback. It's just a waiting game for humans like Minnow, those born at the beginning of a new chapter for the blue planet. It's Minnow's world. That's enough for today. I hope you enjoyed this first look at the Planet Ripple logs. Here are some of the subjects we'll be covering in future episodes. You can purchase books from the series proper through Amazon or itch.io, read an early draft of the first book for free in an online gallery, watch videos like this early, get signed copies of the books from yours truly, and access more special content over on Patreon, all linked in the description. Any support, monetary or otherwise, makes it easier to produce more entries like this. See you soon with more of the Planet Ripple logs. Toodles!